VirtuaVerse is the debut release from Theta Division, set in a dystopian cyberpunk future where almost everyone is permanently plugged into one big augmented reality system. A click and point adventure like many great games of old, how does this one hold up? You play as Nathan, an off-the-grid smuggler of hardware and software, and one of the few members of society capable of unplugging from the mass AR to see the world for what it really is. Your girlfriend Jay is gone with naught but a message, and thanks to a slight mishap caused by your alarm clock, your headset is broken. And so begins the spiralling story, as Nathan unravels the truth about his lover, and the truth of the seedy underworld of the hacker scene. The story is told through the occasional cutscene, with in-game dialogue with the various NPCs around the world, forming the bulk of the backstory. A lot of this could be seen as flavour text, but speaking with the right people gives some real insight into the past of the game's world, with references to real-life current events, and even addressing social issues plaguing society today. It's no Oscar nominee, but it's very well written, never seems forced or requires a suspension of disbelief, with well-timed fourth wall breaks, and it succeeds in making you laugh more than once. Side note, there's a reference to Iron Maiden at one point, which only fans of the band are gonna get. We here at WSB approve of this. As a point-and-click game, it's simple and intuitive to get to grips with how you play. Everything can be done with the mouse, although keyboard shortcuts do exist for certain things, such as your inventory, as a quality of life. We would like to see the arrow keys or WASD be an option for movement, but saying that feels more like pointless fault finding where there is none. What is not simple, however, are the puzzles. This game pulls no punches in its challenge, giving little in the way of hints on how to progress. It's a true point-and-click adventure, and the puzzles really are laid out to make you think. Here's an example. You gotta speak to a random guy to discover that he's a food critic who hates anything spicy, then you gotta go talk to another guy to find out what types of food the critic is likely to be eating, then you need to find some spicy sauce to covertly add to the food to trick the critic into eating something spicy and cause a scene, which causes another guy to be distracted so you can replace one of his AR chips with an overloaded one in order to get past him to grab a battery. That took me 30 minutes to work out. The whole sequence took 2. Yeah. As you progress, you will fill your inventory with a wide variety of items, all of which can be potentially used with things in the overworld or with each other, such as a screwdriver to jam open a broken drawer, or an old mobile phone to read ancient QR codes. This adds to the challenge, as oftentimes you may find yourself missing an item, causing you to return to another of the many self-contained areas, with the possibilities presented to you in those areas changing further as the game progresses. Combined with the good storyline, these challenges really urge you to continue playing, as you constantly think over what to do next. I stopped playing to write this review, admittedly because I got stuck on a puzzle. I stopped halfway through writing this review because my brain clicked, and I immediately jumped back in to play for another hour before I got stuck again. Now onto the game's looks. The pixel art style, it's not for everyone. The old school look is far flung from today's realistic graphics. With that said, within its own self-contained ecosystem, the game looks fantastic. Each scene is well crafted, with reflections and blooming neon lights especially looking great, capturing the cyberpunk-esque styling perfectly. Sound-wise, it's much the same story, the music won't appeal to everyone. However, the musical score, which was created by the band Master Boot Record, is nothing short of fantastic, with a wide range of sounds being provided as you play through the game. I'm not a fan of electronic music myself, but as I write this review, I've got the OST playing in the background. Design-wise, sound is done well. As an example, being in the bathroom of a club causes the music to be muted and pitch changed, as it would in a real club. These are minor points, but this level of detail adds nicely to the overall feel of the game. Also on the subject of sound, it has this. Win? To wrap this up then, VirtuaVerse is a great game for point-and-click fans as well as puzzler fans. A fantastic debut title, it scores 8.5 out of 10 from us, giving enough hours of good storytelling, great music, and head-scratching "the f*** am I supposed to do now" moments to easily justify its £13 price tag. We would say just go and buy it now, but we do so with a caveat. These sorts of games are very much a niche thing, and they're not for everyone. If you're easily frustrated by not knowing what to do next, you may wish to avoid this one. And with that, we'll catch you next time.